We are in Panama, in Bocas del Toro, which is little old pirate islands. This school is Panama Dive School, and it was raining. It's now hopefully going to become a sunny day, but that's Panama for you. So my first experience diving, my sister took me diving in Scotland, or she bought me a course in Scotland, which I didn't enjoy because I didn't like the instructor very much at the time. And we were in a lake in winter in Scotland. And about 12 years after that, I was on tour with my band and we came through Bocas del Toro. And Tony, the owner of this school, offered me a try dive, which I turned down. And he was like, "What? You don't like diving?" I said I'd been before, and then he realised it was in Scotland in the winter, so he insisted on taking me diving. And then every time we came back on tour, he certified me more and more and more, right up to dive master. And then eventually I did my instructors. The reason why I became a dive instructor, I was here working as a dive master, and I have no idea. Me, Tony, the owner, and Lana had a random conversation, and I think most of the time I was guiding people that were new open water students, or they were open water students that hadn't been for a few years, and I was kind of teaching them, but not properly. So I decided to go and do my instructors, which I did, and that's why. Being a scuba dive instructor for a living, full-time, is really good fun and really hard work, and sometimes frustrating, all of those things. You've got a lot of responsibility for the people that you're taking diving, so it's not something to enter into lightly, but it is very rewarding, especially when you have people that they've come to learn because they had a fear of water or something along those lines, and you help them to get over that fear. So I really enjoy it, I love it. You know, and it's really challenging. You get people of all different levels. Some people come and they find they're very visual learners, and it's very easy for them to learn all the techniques and the skills, and other people come, they're not visual learners at all, and you have to find different ways to explain how to do a technique. Sometimes people don't speak the language you're speaking, or not very well, so you have to really slow and maybe use, again, visual kind of aids to teach them. So yeah, it's fun and challenging. Some of the cons of doing the work full-time, it's exhausting. A lot of the time you get to a point, if you've been, like, sometimes you're doing 5 dives a day, it can just be thoroughly exhausting, like any job. It sounds like amazing, you know, you're in the water diving all the time, and people maybe have this impression of being like, you know, some sort of lazy guy that sits on the beach, but it is really, really exhausting. So if you're diving in the busy season all day long, all the time, you know, you get pretty sea wary after a while. So, you know, but there's good days, bad days, like any job. My advice to someone deciding or wanting to become a dive master or a dive instructor is, first of all, to become a dive master, it's not so easy to get work generally. Dive master work is generally given to local people. So in Panama, most dive masters would be Panamanians. But instructing, you can get jobs anywhere, but dive master is a good introduction to instructor. So if you can get into a school like this one where you become a dive master and they'll give you work afterwards, that's a good thing to do, because you can go from 0 to hero, and that can be fine with a good school. But in my mind, it's better to be an open water diver or an advanced diver and dive a little bit, get some experience, then do your dive master. Get a bit of experience dive mastering. If you can get a season guiding people, you know, so your information isn't just from a book, your experience is really experience, it's going to prepare you better for being an instructor. So I was a dive master for about 1.5 years before I did my instructors, and then if you do your instructors from there, you're going to have more of a scope of experience to sort of take from, you know, to teach people. So yeah, that would be my general advice really to becoming an instructor or a dive master. And also choose a school not by the money, but I would talk to the actual instructor that's going to be teaching you, and just go with your gut feeling on how you think you get on with that instructor, whether they're a good instructor. Have a look at the school, see whether they look like they're a safe school. Is the boat neat? Is it in good condition? Does the equipment look like it's in good condition? So you get a good course that sticks by standards, and you know, they'll keep you safe and teach you to be safe teaching and guiding other people. The possibilities for travel for working as a professional diver are endless. A lot of us become instructors or dive masters because we travel, so that helps us out traveling. You can generally get a job in most places in the world as a dive instructor. And also, diving is expensive to dive, unless you're lucky enough to live where there's some shore diving and you have all your own gear and you can just hop off onto a reef and go diving. Diving costs money, so a lot of us become instructors and dive masters to dive for free as well. But travel, yeah, there's a worldwide network on PADI and on other sites where you can look up jobs in different islands and different places all over the world and go and instruct and teach. But you never become rich being an instructor. You can pay for your food and your rent and maybe a couple of beers at the end of the night. It's a career as a diver is totally sustainable. Like I say, it depends what you want. If you're interested in stuff, lots of stuff, maybe not. And but most people that are dive instructors are not really pension people and all the rest of it. Most people I know, they were travellers, they became instructors. There are different ways you can become an instructor. In the UK, for example, you've got BSAC, British Scuba Aqua Club, I think it is. They're more club-based, so a lot of their instructors it's more like hobby. They're great, but they're not. The level is really, really high. But it's more, again, people that want to learn to dive, and they'll be learning over a bunch of weekends. Like in the UK, if everybody's working 9 to 5 here, for example, Box del Toro, it's it's backpackers. So they come here, they've got 4 days or something, and they want to do a course in three days. So it's that kind of learning here, So you can also be an instructor and not be a professional instructor as such. So there's many different options. But as far as it being a kind of job that's going to give you security and everything, it's not that sort of job. You can climb the ladder and eventually become a director, which is someone who teaches instructors to be instructors. Probably there's more scope there for a bit more security, I guess, but there's not, that's not a lot of people that do that job. I think apparently I heard PADI have got something like, 50 or 70 active course directors in the world, actually active course directors. I don't know whether that's right or not, but somebody told me that.
Anything else you can think to add?
Safe diving.